muffin tu hai? Des good muffins, yeah?
Curiosity kills the cat.
This town is
Gets
poor,
sent to Fort Joy.
but this room is rich.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for
A
one
weathered
night
woman
with
in a dirty sea captain's tunic babbles breathlessly to herself, and somewhere nearby you hear a bell ringing.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn, and I without my compass. The ship is in the locker, on the bottom in the rocky shallows, and all are drowned but me. And yet, can you hear? The bell rings on. The bell haunts me yet, and it would drive me mad. I'm haunted by my crew. They ring the bell to drive me mad. Please, make it stop.
She buries her head in her hands and
Make it stop. The bell still rings. Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
a ghostly seaman stares at the captain, his lip curled in...
Hard a port. Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent
This
to
town
Fort
is
Joy.
poor, but this room is...
A weathered woman in a dirty sea captain's tunic babbles breathlessly to herself, and somewhere nearby you hear a bell ringing.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn, and I without my compass. The ship is in the locker, on the bottom in the rocky shallows, and all are drowned but me. And yet, can you hear? The bell rings on. The bell haunts me yet, and it would drive me mad. I'm haunted by my crew. They ring the bell to drive me mad. Please, make it...
She buries her head in her hands and cries.
Make it stop!
Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
All report. Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
A ghostly seaman stares at the captain, his lip curled in a malevolent grin, his eyes wide with hate, and all the time he rings his...
Spoke to the lady captain, didn't you? I seen you cozying up. Are you hers, you bag of bones? Or sail you with us?
Fort Joy for one night with a lizard.
You're right about that.
Then you're an
Right
idiot.
as rain, Hilka.
Who rings the bell?
I'm doing my duty here, I am. I'm the lookout and I'm ringing the bell. Rocks ahead, Captain. There's no lighthouse here. Rocks ahead! Ha 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 ha!
His lip curls over his blackened teeth, and with his smile, you know you've lost the argument.
Sent to Fort Joy.
He turns back...
Rocks ahead, Captain! Avast! Hard a port! Ha! Rocks ahead! Do you hear me, Captain? Ha 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 ha! I'm ringing the...
The bell rings on. The ghostly seaman rings...
Captain Abelweather.
He turns back to...
Rocks ahead, Captain!
The bell rings on.
You've got a pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. Hard a port! Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know?
Curiosity kills
Hard a
the
port!
cat, or gets
Can't
it
you hear
sent
the
to
bells
Fort
are ringing?
Joy.
Right as rain, Hilka.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
The bell still rings. Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
A ghostly seaman...
Sail you with her, elf, or sail you with us? Then you won't sail with her. She ran the ship upon the rocks, although I rang the bell. That light weren't no lighthouse. I rang the bell in warning, and she ran the ship upon the rocks. You ran the ship upon the rocks, Captain, and all the crew were drowned.
The bell still rings.
I'm doing my duty here, I am. I'm the lookout, and I'm ringing the bell. Rocks ahead, Captain. There's no lighthouse here. Rocks ahead! Ha 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 ha!
His lip curls over his black...
Rocks ahead!
The bell rings on.
And I'm saying you can trust me.
Rocks ahead, Captain. Do you hear me?
And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander,
Take the wheel, Captain. Take the wheel.
Curiosity kills the cat, or
The
gets
bell
it
still
sent to
rings.
Fort
Do you
Joy.
hear it? Do you hear it?
You're willing
Take the
to
wheel,
risk
Captain.
Fort Joy
Take the
for
wheel.
one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Smoke billows from this strange contraption.
Seven, save me. Oh, this leaf is strong.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
A ghostly seaman stares at the captain, his lip curled.
Are you her, woman, or sail you with us? Then you won't sail with her.
Curiosity kills
She ran the ship upon the... You ran the ship upon the rock. I'm doing my duty here, I am.
You're willing to
I'm the lookout, and I'm ringing the bell.
lizard. Then you're an idiot.
His lip curls over his black...
Rocks ahead, Captain!
The bell rings.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel! Hard a port! Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
Curiosity kills the cat, or
Gotta
gets it
pick
sent to
who you
Fort
trust.
Joy.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
The ghostly seaman...
She ran the...
He turns back.
Rocks ahead!
The bell...
Lizard.
I can see a
Then you're an
sorcerer from a
idiot.
mile
The bell
away.
rings a warning and the tide is on the
And
turn.
you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get an
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
She babbles breathlessly on, barely aware you're there. And nearby sounds a ring.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn. And I without my compass. But I saw the lighthouse. I saw the light. The lookout rang the bell, but I thought that he was wrong. I steered for port, but there was no harbour. And the bell rang on.
Or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
It rings now still. Please, make it stop.
She buries her head in her hands and cries.
Make it
One night with a
stop.
lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Rocks ahead!
The ghostly seaman rings his bell, his hate directed at his captain.
Captain Abelweather ran the ship upon the rocks. Although I rang the bell...
He turns back towards the sea.
Rocks ahead, Captain!
The bell rings on.
Hard a port! Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
Hard a port! Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
Right as rain, Hilka.
Rocks ahead, Captain! Do you hear me? Rocks ahead, Captain! Do you hear me?
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. Yeah? What do you want?
Hard a port! Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
Huh. I want another beer and a bowl of stew. Which of us is more likely to get what they want, do you think? Guess that makes me a sinner.
Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
Perhaps you can help us settle an argument. Thatcher here is one of my dearest friends, but she isn't the brightest.
You got that right, Hilka.
Thatcher grins hello.
Our mate Boris got posted to Fort Joy for consorting with lizards, and Thatcher here still fancies a turn around the park with Loverick's lizard. I say she'd be sleeping with the enemy. What say you?
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
They look at you expectantly.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
Thatcher bursts out laughing. Eden goes bright red.
Can't you hear the bells?
Get lost before I throw you in a cell for disrespecting a magister. Two magisters. The magisters.
Thatcher doesn't look disrespected. Thatcher looks amused.
Disrespecting one magister's enough. Go on. Get lost.
She turns back to her drink.
Of course it's not true.
She tips you a wink, then Weathered and rugged, the man sleeps soundly. He mumbles in his slumber.
There's bad things in the caves. Bad dwarf things.
His eyes flick wide open, but he's clearly asleep.
Blood and oil do mix, after all.
His eyes flicker open, but he looks like he's still asleep.
The island is ruined and doesn't have a name. Don't go there.
His eyes flicker open, but he looks like he's still...
There's no graveyard on the island. Stay away from the graveyard.
His eyes open, but he doesn't...
Sawdust and wolves, Mother. Sawdust and wolves.
His eyes flicker open, but he looks like...
Arcs for Lucian's Day sounds nice, Mother.
His eyes open, but he doesn't see you. His eyes flick wide open, but...
Leave my...
He goes back to sleep.
Smile all you want. I'm not in love with you.
Hard port. Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
Of course it's not true.
Take the wheel, Captain. Take the wheel.
Smile all you want. I'm not in love with you.
The bell still rings. Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
Hard port. Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
You've got to pick who you can trust.
Aye, the giant.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can
As you approach the silken-robed noble, Ifan does a double-take and laughs in recognition. He pulls you to one side.
I know this man, and he's not at all what he seems. A moment.
Smile all you want. I'm not in love with you.
Ifan bounds forward and embraces the man, all effusive greetings. As they part, talking animatedly, the man's beard slips sideways down his face. He's wearing a disguise. Ifan laughs. They chatter away for some time, using a guttural cant you struggle to understand. At one point, the man says something and looks over at you intently. Ifan waves his hand and laughs. The man hunkers down and seems to be sketching a rough map on the floor, using an apple, some playing cards, and a fistful of threads pulled up from the carpet. Ifan claps the man on the back and turns to leave.
Well, now we know the way to the sawmill. And we know Roost thinks I'm bringing you there as part of the Godwoken contract. Hear that? Roost's camped out at the sawmill.
Why do you shiver? Doesn't this room strike you as eerie? There's a chilly... But, of course, I should hold my tongue and stand guard. All's well. Better watch yourself, lad.
Careful now. That's
Look
a trap.
out. I see a trap nearby. So, Roost is at a sawmill. Let's pay him a visit, shall we?
She smiles. Her eyes are dark pools brimming with anticipation.
Must be an awful lot of fun toys to be had at a sawmill.
Under lock and key.
shiver, sir.
The bell still rings. Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
Of course it's not true.
Quite so, my lord. Quite so. The atmosphere.
Smile all you want. I'm not in love with you.
Spooky? Pull yourself.
More report. Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
The ghostly seaman...
Captain, mate.
He turns back to...
Rocks ahead.
The bell rings.
Take the wheel, Captain. Take the wheel. Rocks ahead, Captain. You hear me?
Smile all you want. I'm not in love with you.
Tell you, if you got nothing to hide, you go with rest. Yeah.
You're good with the magician's caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
Take it too early. All hope destroyed.
This must be the place Lohar mentioned. It looks unassuming enough.
The dwarf is unnaturally still. You might mistake her for a corpse, were it not for a slight twitch of her eyelids. She calmly opens her left eye, then her right.
What do you want?
The dwarf unfolds her arms and shoots to her feet.
All right, human. Right, glad Lohar ain't left us here to wither. Those brutes are taking their sweet time down there. I gotta send word soon. Who knows? Anything that gives away what Mordus has been up to. Probably got all sorts of tricks for covering his tracks, but the goons downstairs should sniff out something. That weird priest's been hanging around Lohar for ages. Now he's vanished. Poof. Those half-wits below will know more. Get to it then. But tell the London...
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing? Huh? You got rocks knocking around.
I've spotted some.
We'd have more luck asking Duda to open it to put by our own hands.
There we go. The door's opening.
By Duna's dagger. You here to free us or kill us?
You're not getting an answer till you keep your hands free of wands and such.
Good to see you'd rather flap your lips than fight. We're here looking for a slippery snake called Mordus. This here's his quarters, but ain't no sign of him.
Only thing we managed were to close that door behind us and get us stuck. Supposed to be another door out there, but never could find it.
Ain't no telling where that priest went off to. Started acting all funny not so long ago, then flew the coop. Well, at first, he was just buddying around with Lohar and the rest, you know. But then he'd start looking all sickly and run off for a day or two. Then some stranger tried taking old Lohar down, but got himself caught and tied up. Ain't no coincidence Mordus went hanging around then.
She taps a finger against her...
A woman knows things. Nothing's getting past me. Best we head off then. We've got business to attend to.
I've spotted something.
A skull. It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre. A skull. It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre.
Well, this won't do. If I can get stuck, then I can get unstuck.
Lohar will want to know of this.
The shrine depicts Duna, yet has clearly seen better days. Scratches and fissures deface its exterior, and its eyes have been gut. You run your hands along the exterior until your fingers graze the button noted in the schematic. Your words are swallowed by the chamber's thick air. The stone is cold against your palm. There's no mistaking the sound of stone.
Well now, how's my fit?
Ivan smiles. This shrine to Duna may have been quite... There's no mistaking the...
Aye, the...
A skull. It's missing an eye. As far as locks go. A skull. It's missing an eye. Nice. Seems like I've got a real talent for this.